Creatives are the unsung heroes of the church world. Like a lineman in football, the quarterback cannot pass or hand off a ball without the people in front of him keeping the others away. A running back cannot run upfield if the linemen don't create a hole for him to run through. Without creatives, today's churches sit quiet and lifeless. You couldn't hear the pastor or preacher. The music would be kind of muffled and hard to hear. We would still be handing out paper announcement flyers printed from Microsoft Word. There'd be no images or videos to help get the pastor's point across. We would be flipping the light switch in the back corner of the church to have a blackout on stage, and we definitely would not have merch or any type of online presence. Creatives run the church because creatives are the unsung heroes that make church happen.
Conquer. Still rocking it in the school of life. Get ready to stir your mind. You found the 100% Richard podcast. He's living life and loving Jesus. 100%! It's the 100% Richard podcast.
All right, here I am. It's me talking about living life and loving Jesus. So, hey, how's everybody doing? I know hopefully you guys were able to catch my last show called The Knot. You got to go check that out. I might have a link up here if I remember how to do it. It's been a while. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be up there somewhere in the corner, you know, where there's like you can put links and stuff. So if I remember to do it, it'll be there. If I don't remember to do it, just search 100% Richard the Knot and it'll pop up somewhere. So I just want to say, I want to do a quick shout out to a great pastor, Pastor Mike. You know who you are if you're listening today, or if you get a chance to listen. The hat that I have on today was gifted by him, and I just, you know, I almost cried because sometimes I feel, you know, that, you know, I don't get seen too much, and it just felt really great that this was gifted to me, and I just greatly appreciate it. It says 100% up there, and so I don't normally wear hats like this, but today I'm going to wear a hat like this because, you know, it was gifted to me, and that's what I'm going to wear it on. So normally I wear that scally cap, but, you know, I don't match my logo today, but that's the way it is. So if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the good stuff. And and if you want to check out any of the stuff that helps me out, make sure to click links in the description below. I got all kinds of stuff. You can get t-shirts and things like that to help out the show. So make sure to go check that out and read the description, you know, click on links and do good stuff. So do the stuff. All right. So here I am. I already said that part, right? It's me. Today I'm going to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I'm going to talk about creatives in the church. And because I believe, you know, maybe not everybody does, but a lot of times creatives kind of get the short end of the stick, for lack of better terminology. Some people don't even know we exist in the church. People don't know the production team exists. People don't know that somebody actually had to build that portable stage, you know, when we go somewhere and do things, or that we have to, you know, if you go to the marriage conference and you see the kissing booth over there, somebody had to build that. You know, the creatives in the church are the people that really run the church. They're the unsung heroes of the church, like I mentioned in the intro. So I just want to start with this. This one's for the creatives. So Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created ... the heavens and the earth, right? That's the very first verse in the Bible. So the Bible starts our journey literally with creation, and God himself is a creative, plain and simple. He literally took nothing and turned it into something, and now here we all are hanging around as human beings on an earth that did not exist until God said, let there be heaven and earth, and so on and so forth, right? So having that knowledge that God himself is a creative, let's look at how important creatives are in our world. Literally, since the beginning of time, Things have come from nothing. Everything around us has been literally created from nothing. So if I am sitting here in a studio that has microphones and you are watching me or listening to me on a podcast somewhere, none of that existed at some point. Somebody had to figure that out and create it. That's a creative's thing. So if you look around the desk you sit at work, the computer you look at on your screen, the phone that you look at, all the things that we have today on the planet were created from nothing. So that is in itself saying that creatives are very, very important. Google says the definition of creative really, really well. So check this out. Creative is an adjective describing the ability to produce original, imaginative ideas or to invent new things rather than just imitating existing ones. It signifies artistic, innovative thought. So, if you are a creative and this actually describes you, then you are an amazing person. So, amazing people, why is it in the church we seem to be an afterthought? Now, let me tell you why I think this sometimes. This is not consistent, I think sometimes creatives tend to be forgotten about. We're not always seen. And this is why. Nobody ever says to anyone things like, wow, the images and videos on the screen are really great. Your graphic designer and videographers must be absolute professionals. Where did you find them? Right? We don't hear, man, your sound engineer really knows how to mix. Have they worked for major bands? Or your social media and marketing director is top notch. And these kinds of things, we don't hear them for the lighting designer, the decoration team. We don't hear them for the guy that built the boat for the play of Noah's Ark. We don't, So when you walk into the lobby and see all the great things that the creatives created in order for you to have a great experience, it always seems like an expectation that these things just happen or that anybody can do it. The reality is creatives don't seem to get noticed until something goes wrong. If that boat leaked or fell apart, or if the tub that you're being baptized in had a hole in it and nobody fixed it, who's the person that made this, right? The reality is creative that we don't seem to get seen until something goes wrong. I just said that. If a mic cuts out, practically the whole crowd will turn around and look at the sound booth. But if nothing ever happens and everything goes smoothly, nobody even realizes that team is back there creating the atmosphere for the Holy Spirit to move in. And knowing that God himself is a creative, we will see that creatives are a prime ingredient to making today's church happen. In today's church, creatives are the backbone. And we have to look at the importance of creatives to see that even in the days of the Bible, creatives were absolutely necessary to see the church move forward. I have one example that I'm gonna show you, and that even God, because God had to empower creatives with the Holy Spirit to make things happen. In fact, the first time we see this is in the Old Testament. I'm going to use this one example because I could go through David, I can go through Noah, I can go through Moses, I can go through all these people that had. Jesus himself was creative. He walked up to a fig tree and grabbed some fruit. The fruit wasn't there, and he took it and he utilized that as a learning experience. He used parables. All these kinds of things are creative ideas and things in order to teach and learn and those kinds of things. But I want to show you this one because it's very interesting that the Holy Spirit has to be released onto a couple of people in order to do something great for the church. Now watch this. So in Exodus 31, 1-6, the Israelites have now left Egypt. They're in the wilderness. So little catch up here, and Moses gets the plans for the tabernacle in the wilderness where God's going to dwell and where they can do the sacrifices and take care of sin and all that kind of stuff. So watch this. This is Exodus 31, 1-6, out of the New King James translation. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, see, I have called by name. So let me say this again. Lord spoke to Moses, saying, see, I have called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, and the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled them with the Spirit of God. I filled them with the Holy Spirit in wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship to do what? To design artistic works, to work in gold, in silver, and bronze, and cutting jewels for settings, and carving wood, and to work in all manner of workmanship. All of those are creative things. And I have appointed with him Aholiab, something like that, the son of Ashimach. I love all the names, from the tribe of Dan, and I have put wisdom in their hearts of all the gifted artisans, that they may make all that I have commanded you. So right here, the Holy Spirit has to come upon this group of people, the main two leaders, who are now going to designate out to other creatives and artisans and construction workers and things like that, in order to create the tabernacle in the wilderness. If you don't know what the tabernacle of the wilderness is, go read Exodus. It tells you all about it. It tells you every piece of it and how they built it and all that kind of stuff. And so this is the first time we actually see the empowerment of the Holy Spirit, and it's on a creative person. It's on a creative group of people. And he is assigned to work with other creatives to build, carve, and ornament the house of God, the tabernacle in the wilderness, the place where God himself comes to dwell with the people. So the importance of this is, that they're weaving the screens, they're building the candlesticks, they're making the laver, they're doing all the stuff, they're creating all these things in order for God to literally show up in the church. And this tells me, one, that creative things cannot be done by just anyone. Creative things must be done by creative people. And two, that creatives are so important that God gives them the wisdom of Holy Spirit to make sure it is done in excellence, because it has to be done right. And it will be noticed by the people, because the people are going to see these things that are being creative. And in order to do that, creatives in the church are absolutely necessary in making everything happen. Anything and everything that is visible when you walk into church is done by a creative. The worship that brings you into the presence of God is a group of creatives. The visuals on screen, the live mix, the photography, and if the church has an online campus, the videographers and the online director that walks you through the story of the experience. The person that built the picture booth, the person that made the counters, right down to the most of the time, if you're in a building, it was probably designed by somebody within the church. So the architects and the things of that nature that know how to make things happen, those are all creatives. And the creatives work with Holy Spirit to help usher in the presence of God in each Sunday experience we attend. Without them, we would have immensely boring churches. If you go to a boring church, that's great. If you enjoy that, that is awesome. I'm very, very glad you even step into church and do those kinds of things. If that's you, that's great. I go to one of those churches that is not boring, in my opinion. And without them, boring. And we would probably have a hard time reaching the next generation, because the next generation needs to have visuals and sees and things like that. They have to have music, and they have to have hearing, and they have to have things to touch and feel. The generation coming up to take over the churches have to have an understanding of these things already. Churches are mosaics of creatively created people. Wise church leaders should follow the Spirit's lead in empowering their people to thrive in their areas of giftedness in ways that glorify God and bless the church. Creatives are the life of the modern church. They are the amazing people that serve more than just on Sunday. They function in a capacity that you may never see, because what you see and hear was not done directly in front of you. It was done in the background. It was done before you showed up. It was done so that you could see the thing. And it takes talented, hardworking people to create the atmosphere that we walk into every Sunday morning. So the next time you're at church, Look around you. Look up. Look behind you and ask yourself, who did all this? Who is making all of this great stuff happen right now? Where's the smoke coming from if you have a smoke machine in church? Where's the lighting at? Somebody had to climb up there and hang that lighting up there. Where's that projection coming from? Where's the projector? Oh, that's an LED screen. We don't use projectors anymore, right? Who set up that LED screen? Somebody has to be really knowledgeable of electronics in order to do that, right? And they're usually very creative people that know how to do those kinds of things, right? Look behind you at the sound booth because those people are making it happen right there live. You know those lyrics that pop up on the screen? There was somebody back there clicking a button in order to get each and every lyric that you read on the screen. For every verse that you see on the screen, they're back there physically clicking a button and doing something to make that happen for you. So ask the question, how is this happening right now? And you know what? On your way out of the sanctuary or the main auditorium, thank that production team back there in that booth that you never look at. And if you do look at it, that's fun, fantastic. But tell the worship team, tell the production team how great they are. Tell them thank you for clicking on such great timing. Tell the worship team that, how well they did. Actually, tell the bass player, man, your bass lines rock, something like that. Let someone know the visuals are top notch and that you're looking forward to seeing all the pictures that are going to come out on social media because you see all the photographers running around and because it looks so great all the time. If you are an online churchgoer, leave a comment for the camera people and the director that make it all look good. Because they're telling a story. The director is telling what the camera angles are. Hey, camera 1, you're going to be on right now. Camera 2, switching to camera 2. They're back there doing something creative so that you can see something great online. And I actually just want to say this before I take off. That creatives, you should be seen. And I see you, and I'm just nobody running around doing a podcast. And thank you for all that you do. Without you, church would not be church as we know it today. And that's the truth. Oh, wait. I got one last thing. Watch this. Revelation 21:5. And the one sitting on the throne said, look, I am making everything new. And then he said to me, write this down, for what I tell you is trustworthy and true. The one sitting on the throne is Jesus. And he says, I am making everything new. So even after creating everything, God has new things to create on the horizon. Creatives, be aware of fresh revelation. Look for the things that are next, the things that have not yet been seen, and create it. Because creatives are the catalyst for the next wave of the modern church. Right on, right on.